Hello, this is Xavier Lee. I'm with Judy DeLozier.
Hi, I'm Judith DeLozier.
I'm going to actually ask Judy about her experiences with NLP. She's had an amazing career, and now she's becoming involved in what we call the NLP Planet Project as one of the founding members. So we wanted to get some of her thoughts on that.
Well, I think it's a great question. This is an opportunity with all the technology that we have in the world right now to bring the NLP skills, techniques, ideas and processes and models to the world because we have the technology through webinars, through conversation, to bring NLP to the world in such a way that it makes it available geographically and financially to many places and people in the world where we really probably wouldn't have who would not have an opportunity to really participate in a seminar or to travel a long distance or invest a lot of money. It really is an opportunity to share ideas, to create a community, to create a web of meaning and connection around the world so that people have an opportunity to share their good ideas. NLP has a great history of technology, a great history of processes and models and applications in so many various areas in leadership and business and education and health and creativity. It's such a great opportunity to start to share that now with the world because we have the vehicle and the technologies to do that. I just saw an article yesterday. Robert reminded me of Robert Jeltz that many, many years ago when we started NLP University, actually, when we started it back in about 21 years ago, there was an article written on universities of the future, and it was all about the universities were going to have to transform based on the technology that was available. And so I think that's really kind of part of the development overall. And it's also the opportunity for NLPU, or NLP to be dispersed into the world. There's a lot of levels there. I think one of the levels is that people will learn something they can use in their everyday life that'll make a difference to their everyday life, practical life skills. If they want to take that further, they can learn advanced skills, create models of where things that work, and apply those models in places where there's need, or to continue to develop and expand themselves, whether that's in their business, their professional life, their personal lives. That those opportunities can be there for everybody.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for that question. That's a great question.
Thank you. By the way, so my questions will be subtitled.
Okay.
So, I want to ask you a two-part question.
Okay.
One is, one of the many things that people really admire about you as a trainer and as somebody, as a leader, is your ability to really hold space for everyone and to accept people. Could you tell us about what your strategy or belief around that is and how you maintain that?
Thank you. That's a really lovely question. It's a great question. I mean, I think that probably the first biggest part of the answer would be what allows me to do that is when I'm training, and I can't say that I'm perfect in every aspect of my life this way, but when I'm training, I really, really do hold the NLP presuppositions in my heart and my spirit. I go, the map isn't the territory. People are positively intended. They're doing the best they can, and I'm doing the best I can. And from that place, it makes it much, much, much easier to hold the space. I mean, now in the third generation, we talk about holding. It's kind of an idea that's, you can actualize through a process or a technique. And the idea is, you're holding that space just like you're holding a child that's acting out, or just like you're holding a friend who is having a difficult time. And it's without judgment. It's without judgment, and that's what makes it simple.
Wonderful.
If once I decide I'm right and they're wrong, or I'm wrong and they're right, it takes you down a different path. As a trainer, as soon as I think in my own mind, oh, this is a resistant learner, it takes me down a path. It doesn't change them at all, but my world shrinks. And so holding those presuppositions is probably the biggest key for me. when I do feel that sense as a trainer strategically where I feel like I might be hooked, then it's really a simple matter of kind of going to that meta position. And that comes through awareness. That strategy is more around awareness. Oh, something just happened in me. I'm hooked or triggered or bumped or however I say it. I know now I'm engaged in a way that I don't feel is of the quality that I know I have. Right. And that's more coming through awareness and then using of the NLP technology, just meta position, observer position for a moment, sort of count to 10 before you engage, or right. Something like that maybe is another way to think about it. So I hope that touches.
It does, and you've actually already started answering the second part of the question, which is, what are the beliefs that you have about the participants that keeps you that safe and so accepting?
Well, first of all, that they're adults. Mm-hmm. I don't think of them as, I'm the teacher and they're the students in the sense that has a higher up, lower down kind of feeling in me. We're all here to do something. We're all here to learn. I'm in a certain position with respect to the group, but other than that, we're all adults here. And I'm going to treat people like adults. And sometimes when I do that, it brings a person out of a place which may be more childish, for example. And we all have that in ourselves. We all find ourselves there. But I think one thing is I just go, look. Another thing is I go, they paid a lot of money to be here. They deserve the best of me.
That's perfect.
They deserve the best of me. They traveled a long ways. They paid a lot of money. On any given day, I might be better or not better, but they deserve the best I have at that time.
Do you believe that's also applicable to online, where you're teaching NLP in the community? Similar type of beliefs?
I think those beliefs would hold true. Certainly the context is different when you don't have the face-to-face connection. Mm-hmm. But I certainly feel that I would still hold those beliefs that I'm engaging with people in the world who have resources, mm-hmm. who want to make a contribution, who are interested in learning, who generally want tools or something they can actually increase the quality of their life with, or something that'll make a difference. I think, it may be some slightly different sensibilities there. I mean, I've thought about this a lot because having done distance learning tools, for example, I always had a question mark going, will those students be the same kind of students interacting with the computer that, the students who are interacting in a community of their peers? What will be the difference? And kind of part of the stipulation that Robert and I kind of came up with respect to that was people could do the distance learning, but they had to spend some amount of time in a community. Now, it's got two sides of it. One is there's a sense of freedom online. People don't have to, if they have issues with each other, they don't have to see each other face to face, and a lot of times that can be a really healing possibility for people, that they can do it that way. And I think, just like in face to face, it goes up. The possibility of issues can actually go up, I think, on the other side. So I think it's a different animal. I still see it as a very profound vehicle for sharing knowledge with the world that can make a difference. And to get to more people. Great. Yeah. And as we were saying earlier with the Planet Project, to have the opportunity for people to see high-level trainers, perhaps from all over the world, people who have made very unique contributions that I don't know everybody. I know there's a lot of people out there doing really cool stuff that I don't know what they're doing. For people to have access to that, to have access to the next generations who are coming, who are going to have their own different questions and the models that are relevant for them and their focuses of attention that are so different than maybe my generation. Although they're all wonderful, they're different. So I think there's going to be great benefits, and it will have its own kinds of challenges, I'm sure. just like face-to-face training, it's got great benefits, but it also has its special kind of challenges. So.
Very true. So if you could sort of summarize one or two main purposes or goals that you would like to achieve through the giving online webinars to places like NLP Planet Project, what would those goals be for you?
For me personally?
Yes.
Well, I think for me personally, it kind of fits into my life right now because I'm 65 and in a few weeks. Don't tell anybody. And, I'm kind of moving in a different moment in my life, in a different rhythm in my life, a different timing. And I see it for me personally as a great vehicle for me to share, my experience and my knowledge and my journey of the last 38 years, of NLP. First of all, I see it as definitely an opportunity to connect to my mission, which I've always been the missionary in NLP, or one of the big missionaries. I would go places a lot of times for the first time for the least amount of money, because I just believed everybody had a right to have an opportunity to learn, and so I think that also for me. So I think the timing's great, and it's definitely still part of my mission.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judy.
You're welcome.
So one maybe bonus question.
Bonus question, do I get extra credit?
You get extra credit.
Okay, great.
You don't even have to answer.
Yeah.
So in your very mission-filled life and this long career of being a missionary in NLP, could you maybe touch upon some of the major shifts or transitions that you might have experienced personally for yourself or on the NLP field in general?
Well, certainly for myself, the activation of the presuppositions again, allows a person to be present. Presence allows the person to hold, to hold the space better. So certainly coming from my background, which was in my academic life, was comparative religion and anthropology, I could always feel the more, I don't want to necessarily use the word spiritual, but the more mission-connected part of NLP was definitely more at home in me than technology. Technology was probably not my strong point. For me, it was like the difference between taking an essay test where they ask you a question and you fill it out, you write it, or fill in the blanks in mathematics. I go, that was just crazy for me because my brain didn't necessarily think that way. One of the greatest contributions for me personally has been to find that balance between the cognitive and the unconscious, or the cognitive and the metaphoric, between the cognitive, the metaphoric, which is also the somatic, and the rest of the world. I think that, for me, has been my journey. At the same time, it was more the description than the knowledge, because I knew that in my heart to be right for me, right in the sense of correct for me. And that also came through my, background in comparative religion. Not because I was a believer, but because I saw humanity in general has a quest to understand and describe that which we cannot describe. And that will always be part of humanity. And I have a deep love for that. Okay. Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much. You've been an amazing guiding light for a lot of us.
Oh, thanks, Xavier.
And we love you.
I love you too.
So thank you so much for being involved in this project.
It's an exciting project. I really look forward to, in October, getting together and making a presentation.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank
Cool
you.
beans.